Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome people to episode 218 of Doing the Monkey. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever, I am joined by...
Ian Loring, hello. How are we all?
Yes, hello people. What do we have today? We actually have a fully normal show today, don't we?
Yep.
We have just one review, and we have some what we've been watching, and we have some trailers. I'm sure we'll have some tangents. Of course, we'll be checking in what's happening over at Twin Peaks as well. But other than that, there's no double releases. There's no weird kind of like we've watched blah blah blah. It's quite weird going in with a new show and going, shit, have I watched enough?
Yeah, no, totally. No, it's good. It's good. I was saying to Mark at the start of the show, I didn't have much sleep last night, so I am hazy. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm sounding a bit low energy today.
Yeah, well, we'll kind of vibe through. This week we're going to chat The Big Sick, which is it's kind of like the big sort of surprise flick of the year. It seems like Amazon, because it's Amazon Studios that bought the rights, isn't it? And it seems like they were probably going to drop this straight onto Amazon streaming services, but Amazon seem to have this thing where they go, do you know what? No, we're going to give it a chance to go out there and breathe a little bit. And they've done it with a number of their films that they're backing. They're going a different route to Netflix. Neither's right or wrong. But they are kind of going with these films. No, what we're going to do is we're going to let it have its time in the cinemas. And then we'll essentially be able to go, do you know what, we've still got it before any of the streaming services, so here you go, when it's available to watch, to buy or rent or whatever, here it is to watch with your Amazon Prime subscription, which is pretty cool. So The Big Sick, it gathered a lot of traction as do you know what, this is a really solid film, so I think we were both quite looking forward to it, weren't we?
And yeah, I would Coco. Number 10 with a bullet in the UK box office this week.
Well,
it wasn't playing many places, I don't think. Which is weird because it seemed like it was all over film Twitter.
Yeah.
But literally, there was one cinema in Cardiff playing it.
One cinema in York. The insane thing, and we will go to trailers in a second and news, etc., and then we'll review the film. But this is not reviewing the film, so this makes sense. The strange thing is, there was posters up for it in the View that I frequent. And there was trailers before films for the past couple of months. Mm-hmm. Not showing. It was evening, I get sent an email that says, view upcoming films in York, and it had the little synopsis of all the films, and one of them was The Big Sick, not playing. So I did go and see it in the city screen, which is, the problem is, going to see films in the city screen, it's a lovely cinema, I love the city screen, it's a great place to go, but it means I have to park in town, which cost me, to park today, cost me £7.50 to park, because York is extortionate for parking, whereas if I go to the View, it's free.
Yeah, I mean, Christ, the car park I use in Cardiff, it's usually about £4 or so, but I can also charge my car there.
Yeah.
So it's I'm okay with that, because the journey to and from the cinema has also cost me nothing in fuel. So it's fuck it. But yeah, that's ridiculous. $7.50.
Yeah, that's box standard for in York, unfortunately. It is an expensive place to park. So actually, indulge me a little bit here, listeners. I'm going to slightly tangent off to Ian to ask him a question on air that I probably could ask him off air. But but people might want to know this information. You know when you go to a car park and you have the electric car parking bays that have the where you can charge up the thing there.
Yeah.
There's a payment slot in it. Do you have to pay, or do you get a special card or something that goes into it?
So the way it usually works is there are a few charging networks nationwide. Now I use the one I mainly use is this network called Polar, where they give you the first 6 months free, and then it's £7 a month to use their network.
Yeah.
And then if the car park or wherever you're parking decide to be bastards about it, they can charge you for the electricity as well. The vast majority don't.
It's the centre I work in do. It would appear.
No, I mean, like, there's another network called Charge Your Car, which is like a pay-as-you-go one, where they will do a rapid charge for you, which is a £5 for 30 minutes, which gets you like 80% of the battery charge. And then on the motorways, you get Ecotricity, who just changed their... Weirdly, they changed their payment structure recently. Again, tangent, sorry folks, but they used to be £6 for 30 minutes, but now they do a £3 connection fee and then 17p per kilowatt hour of electricity, which actually, I did a 38-minute charge a couple weeks back and it cost me £5.74. So it cost me 26p less for 8 minutes more charge than it used to cost me for a half hour. And it also means that if I just need to top it up, just need 10 minutes just for a bit to get home. Like we went to see some relatives last week, and we were about half an hour on the motorway away from home, so just needed enough charge to get us home. Yeah. So I just did 10 minutes. It cost £3.50, and that was just enough to get me home. And then I just plugged it. Into my charging point at home. So it's more flexible. It's at the moment I'm okay with paying the odd £5 here and there, and then £7 a month to use this Polar network because they're great. Even slow charges at hotels and stuff, they seem to use Polar. So if we stay in a hotel, I just plug it in all night, plug it in overnight, on a slow charge. Come down in the morning and he's got a full charge again, and it's cost me that £7 a month, but for the amount of charge that I'm actually getting versus if I was paying for fuel, £7 a month is fuck all.
Well it is. I mean, I think I travel to and from work every day, so I think I drive maybe I drop Becky off, so I drive maybe 15 to 20 miles a day, around about that, and I'm slinging sort of 80 to 120 quid in a month.
An electric car, we got very, very lucky with the deal that we got because it was an older model, so the range isn't as good. But if you can get past the initial outlay for one, it is an adjustment, don't get me wrong, it's definitely an adjustment, but I am very, very, very comfortable with it. They're fine, and it's the small town that my relatives live in. They've got a charging point there, so I took my relatives out for lunch, and I just plugged it in there, and I got a full charge in 40 minutes on that one. And again, it used the Polar network, and the car park, the council didn't charge anything for the electricity, and the car park was free on a Sunday, so it was fine. And it was Wales to Wiltshire. It was about 90 miles or so. It maybe cost me overall in fuel, about 90 miles each way, that is. Maybe cost me about a tenner.
Which isn't bad, is it?
That's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have probably cost about 35 quid in a petrol car in my old Igo, because it would have been a whole tank, essentially, pretty much.
That probably cost me about 18 to 20 quid. That cost me.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's and the only reason why it's costing that is because of the charging on the motorway on the way, and the way back. Actually, it would have been less than a tenner. It would have been more about 8 quid. So it's but I mean, fuck man, for commuting and shit like that, it's a godsend. It's just the longer distances, but they just need bigger range. Fuck man, 10 years time when Teslas are really affordable and you can get 200-mile range out of a single charge for the price of a standard car. it'll be pretty much game over for petrol by that point, I think.
Yeah, they've got 15 years left in them, I think, petrol cars, and then that'll be it. They'll become something that people have as a plaything rather than or as something that's used. So the type of thing where it's something you use on a weekend.
Yeah, I mean, electric cars will be prevalent way before autonomous driving, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, I genuinely, we've had him for about 9 months now, and the worst experience we've had is where my car's sat nav took us to Bristol Airport, but took us to the staff entrance, and the detour that we had to do was ridiculous, and we very nearly ran out of charge then, and if we did, we would have missed a flight. Like very nearly. But we made it, and there was a charging point at Bristol Airport, so we were fine on the way back. But you do every now and then you do get a little bit of squeaky bum time.
Yeah, see, I'm terrible at squeaky bum time, so
I'm fucking like Donna. It finds me incredibly annoying. Like the range anxiety, I vocalise it, and it really annoys her.
I'm like that when I look at my petrol thing and going, holy shit, I've got 60 miles and it's 8 miles to the petrol station.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm a bit like that. I was convinced at one point driving back from the relatives that we weren't going to make the charging point, and we made it there, and the thing said we still had 25 miles left. So you know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. But anyway, that was a good tangent. I enjoyed that.
Yes. So yeah, films. Anything happened this week that we need to discuss before we get into trailers?
A big shout out to Rick Kidd, Steve Nixon, the Ginger Prince, and James Tennant for becoming patrons.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah.
Hope you guys are enjoying the shows. Patreon.com/Dude and the Monkey if you want more content. That's all I'm going to say. Even though, actually, I suppose I should say the 4K show is probably going to have a bit of a retooling, because I don't know if anybody saw my Twitter the other night, but the fourth 4K player that I've owned that has broken on me has now been returned to Amazon. The fourth.
That is insane. That is verging on literally like somebody's looking at it going, oh, this guy, he's on the 4K player. Go to the faulty box. Go to the faulty box. No, it can't look like it's fucked up. That one, does it crash? What does it do? It just skips on the menu. Yeah, bring us that here. Yeah, send him that.
I mean, I sent you that video, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like I was halfway through watching Pulse, the Kiyoshi Kurosawa film.
Yeah.
And like I turned on the player, I was going to watch the rest of it, and then that happened. I was like, you've actually got to be fucking shitting me. So then I tried another disc, and it did the same. And then I reset the player back to factory settings, and it did the same. And it was just like, right, I know I've said it before. I'll probably say it again. I can't be doing this anymore. I can't be fucking doing it. The amount, and the thing is, like you say there, it is like, I mean, Christ, the Samsung one I bought it at Amazon warehouse, and it said as new condition, and this was Amazon saying it, and then it just wouldn't display a picture properly. And it is like they just pick dodgy ones and just send them out and try and get away with it or something. It's the weirdest fucking thing. And it's really, 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 really killed my enthusiasm for it.
Yeah, I can see why, to be honest.
I've sent back 2 in the past 2 weeks, man. You know what I mean? It's tell you what, this has woken me up, Mark. This is good. So the 4K show, I don't think is going to be going on anymore, so I will have a think. I will be replacing it with something. But I'm not entirely sure what. But if anyone's got any ideas, please hit me up.
Cool. Right, so
anything been happening in the film world?
No, Sam Shepard sadly passed.
Yeah, man. Yeah. 73 was it?
Yes, it's not a bad age.
Yeah, I mean, a little young, I suppose.
Yeah, on the younger side, yeah.
He was kind of battling. What was it, ALS, and
Yeah.
didn't make it public. Fair play to him. Yeah, no, he was a presence. He was a fucking presence.
He was. I wasn't. To be honest, I wasn't as aware of his players being as prolific as they were.
No, quite. Like people saying he was a great American playwright, and it's like, was he?
Well, I knew he'd written plays, and I thought, all right, calm down a little bit. Then started looking into it. It's like, holy shit! It's like he wasn't an actor who also wrote a few plays. He was a playwright who also acted in a few movies. It would seem.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things where you can become a little bit lost in your own wheelhouse in your own world that you don't see beyond it, and that you look at it and go, oh fucking hell, I didn't know he wrote that, and I didn't know he wrote that.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's no, I mean, a loss, a definite loss.
Absolutely, yeah. Beyond that, I think it's been a bit of a quiet week, really. I think the post Comic Con has kind of let everything kind of settle a little bit.
Yeah, I think that that kind of shows in the trailers as well. I've literally got one.
Yeah, go on then. What have you got?
Suburbicon.
Yes, do you know what's really weird about this? I knew nothing about this, right? And I said to Becky about 10 seconds before the trailer finished.
I think I know what's coming.
I turned out to Bex and went, so Clooney's making a Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah.
And I turned around and was looking at her, and she just, because she had because we always watch trailers on the TV and on the PS4, and she had the controller, and she paused it and just went, and I looked and went, oh. And I genuinely didn't know at the time, but yeah, it comes up and says written by Jonathan Cohen. And it does look like a Coen Brothers movie. That's not a criticism, he's a long collaborator of the Coen Brothers. And he's made another one that was very Coen-y.
What, Leatherheads?
No, there was
Leatherheads felt like he was trying to do doing comedy.
Yeah.
Well, what's he done? Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Fucking.
I might be thinking of one that he hasn't directed.
Oh Christ!
I might be thinking of that. Oh wait.
Was Confessions of a Dangerous Mind Clooney?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Good night.
I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Welcome to Collinwood, which he didn't direct. That was the Russo brothers.
The Russos, yeah.
Ah.
He produced it, didn't he? And he starred in it, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, Suburbicon just looks like a film that will get 3-star reviews and make fuck all money.
Yeah. That will make the only way that film is going to make money is if they just land it right at the right time.
I don't see it. I will watch it, but nothing in that trailer makes me anticipate that film.
No, it's a little bit like, do you know what? I'll watch it because it's directed by Clooney, it's written by the Coen Brothers, and that cast is pretty great.
Yeah.
But it's a by the numbers trailer.
Yeah, and maybe it's that there's some more interesting material in there, but they're trying to broad audience it as much as possible.
Yeah.
And if the Coens have a hand in it, and Clooney's actually directing it, then maybe that's the case. But lest we not forget that Clooney did direct Leatherheads.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I think that is literally it for me, bud. So fire away.
Right, what have I got? Oh, just come up on my phone news. Neymar has agreed a 5-year deal with Paris Saint-Germain. He's joined them for
That's actually fucking confirmed.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. I'm going to talk about this on the Damn You Football, to be honest. this week. But yeah, that is confirmed. He's going to join for 181 million.
I mean, like, he's going to be bored as fuck playing in that league, but he's just going to be but he's just going to be counting the money all the way. Like,
it's the thing is,
fucking hell.
I can see his reasoning on two levels for why he's doing it. One, it's an awful lot of money. There's no getting away from that. But I do think for him, the reasons why he's going are because at the moment, and no matter what happens, he's always going to be the second biggest fish in a very big pond.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what, and you could make an argument to even suggest he's not even in some places regarded as the second biggest fish there. Wherever else he goes, because he knows he can't go to Real Madrid, anywhere else he goes, he's going to be the superstar. But no matter what, he's not going to be the superstar at Barcelona for the next foreseeable future because Messi's there. And he wants to win World Footballer of the Year. And he knows as long as he spends his time at Barcelona, it's just not going to happen because people will always pay more attention to Lionel Messi.
But PSG are going to have to fucking smash it in the Champions League if he's going to want that kind of profile. Like, League One, like it's just he's not going to get that notice.
He's looked at it, and I promise we will get back to films in a minute, guys. But indulge us. He's looked at it and gone, if I go this year, I've got a season in a league where I can easily top 50 goals, is the way he'll be looking at it. Whether or not he can or not is a different matter. He's also not joining pre-existing champions. They'd be regaining their crown from Monaco, which won't be difficult because Monaco's squad's going to be decimated by the time it gets to kick off for their season. Whether their season kicks off this weekend. But by the end of the transfer window, their team's going to be decimated. So they're going to be able to win it at a canter, PSG, really. If they don't, they're doing something seriously wrong. And then it's a World Cup year. So all he needs to do is have a solid World Cup, and he'll be rested a little bit from that because he isn't going to have to play at full tilt in the League One. That's just a fact. So he's going to go into the World Cup absolutely chomping at the bit, knowing that if he scores, let's say 54 goals in all competitions in 51 games, and an achievable amount, it's the Messi and Ronaldo size numbers. He knows that he can get that in France, and then he goes to Russia, captain in Brazil, and in his mind, he goes there as one of the best players in the world, and he is a top scorer in that World Cup, and Brazil get to the semi-final or a final, he wins World Footballer of the Year. That is what he will be looking at. What I reckon will happen is, all that'll happen, he'll get sent off in a World Cup quarter-final or semi-final because he just gets himself too fired up.
Yeah,
that is an 11-month prediction from me that Neymar will get himself sent off in a major World Cup game, be it a quarter-final against somebody like Argentina or the semi-final or final.
Imagine if he just got injured.
But that's it. That's the thing that you have with these insane transfer things is they can get injured. You know, we've got the thing at the moment. Liverpool were trying to buy Naby Keita. He's available next season because there's got a release clause in his contract, and he's saying he's not going to sign a new contract. Next season he's available for 48 million euros, which is about 42 million pounds, something like that at the moment. Whereas we were offering 80 million right now, and have said no. Well, he could bust his knee up, cruciate ligament, first game of the season. And then that's it.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like the whole fucking Sanchez ordeal, isn't it? It's like he's like Arsenal were saying, no, you're going to run out your contract, and it's like, what if he doesn't? I mean, I don't know. What if he doesn't have the best season? It's not likely to happen. But what if he gets injured? Like
prime example here, right? Is last season at this point last year, or maybe a few weeks ago, Leicester could have sold Danny Drinkwater for 30 million. They could have sold Riyad Mahrez for 40 million, and they could have sold Jamie Vardy for 25 million, and a couple of the other squad players for upwards of 15 million. They could have banked easily 100 million and still finished in the same position as they finished in the league this season.
Yeah. It's a fair point.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. It
is. But I will be discussing transfers and the insanity of it all on the next episode of Damn You Football, which will be available.
Forward to that.
Which will be available by the weekend, is what I'll say.
Nice.
So, other trailers I watched. What Happened to Monday, which is a new film from the director of Dead Snow, which is a Netflix film.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, it's starring Glenn Close, Willem Dafoe, and New Rapace, where it's set in a dystopian future where all you're only allowed to have one child, and Willem Dafoe seems to have had 7 children, which I can't remember how you'd say that.
Septuplets?
Septuplets? We'll say septuplets.
Let's go with that.
And he's decided when they've all got older and they're actually wanting to go out that they're actually called Monday, Tuesday, you can gather. They're only allowed to go out on the day that is their name, but they're all the same person.
What?
They're all the same person. So they're living the same person's life, but each day is a different one of the sisters. That life. Yeah, and they're all played by New Rapace.
Right.
Do you know what? Do you remember when Willem Dafoe and Ethan Hawke were in all those horror-y sci-fi movies for 3 or 4 years? I can't remember the names of any of them, like Predestination, and there was that vampire one they were in. It looks like one of those films, and it's also got Willem Dafoe in it. So you're going, I'm looking, going, do you know what? I bet that's going to be a bit shit, but I'm looking forward to catching it on Netflix.
Nice.
Mother, the teaser trailer for Mother, the Darren Aronofsky horror film, I suppose.
I'm waiting for because this is a really teaser, isn't it?
Yeah, literally it's a teaser trailer for a Darren Aronofsky movie that's coming out in 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's not UK, is it?
No, I don't think so. But still, it's like no trailer, no poster, no nothing. It's all just starting arriving now. But it does seem a little bit like nobody's kind of excited about this, whereas you get the feeling people would have been, or seems like they should have been. He's not a filmmaker I get on with, so it's not for me, but other people do, so I'll leave it out there. The LBJ trailer, lot of prosthetics on display is what I'll say there.
Sweet.
What else did I watch? The final trailer for Detroit. That film looks intense as fuck.
I believe I'm seeing it next Tuesday. Good old Cineworld.
Oh, so, very nice. I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'll touch on that next week.
And the new trailer for It, where it actually looks a little bit better.
Oh, actually, yeah. No, I did see that. Yeah, it does. Yeah. We'll see.
Very jump scary, that.
Yeah.
Very jump scary.
Yeah, pretty sure it probably wouldn't have been like that with Fukunaga, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, so that was it for trailers. Not a lot out, so that's why there wasn't a lot shot, but not too bad. So we'll get into the Big Sick. It's a rom-com from Michael Showalter.
Yeah.
Showalter. Written by and starring Kumali Nanjiani, who you may recognise from Silicon Valley, and also co-written by Emily V. Gordon, his actual wife in real life. It tells the story of how they got together, essentially where they began dating, and then in the middle of that process, during a period of reflection, we'll call it, Emily becomes quite severely ill and is put in a medically induced coma, and Kumali has to kind of get to know her parents throughout that, and he's still unsure if the relationship actually exists anymore, but he's come through a lot of shit, and it goes through that. So, also stars Zoe Kazan, Holly Hunter, Ray Romano, Ian.
Right, the big sick. So yeah, was looking forward to this, and yeah, I think it pretty much justifies the praise that's being lavished upon it. To be honest, I think the husband and wife writing team aspect of it, I think, elevates it from the usual male perspective stuff that this kind of film does. Even though I think that only really kicked in the third act. So obviously, all spoilers all the time, but I thought it was interesting that she woke up and there was still like a good half hour of the runtime left. And it was like, right, okay, so what's going to happen here then? And then it's basically her very correctly like rejecting him. And, you know, I was a little bit worried that it was going to be like her just as woman in bed. And maybe, you know, I feel bad that I thought that because Kumail Nanjiani is a smart guy. He's like a very, very smart guy. And obviously his wife is as well. But when Zoe Kazan literally says, like, I'm glad that you had these revelations, but, you know, I was asleep the entire time. And I think that's the most interesting section of the film for me, is actually that section. It's funny. Obviously very, very heartfelt, raw in moments. And is a film that I think would genuinely make people laugh and cry. Which feels like a standard thing for like a rom-com with a bit of drama in it, but I think this one would probably live up to that bill for a lot of people. I actually really liked it, and Zoe Kazan not as pretentious a presence as I usually find her. I would say. I thought she was really quite good in this. But yeah, Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, it's good, but not great, I would say. It's too fucking long. I know we say that so often, but it's way too fucking long.
Would you? Is there a particular section of the film that you think is too long? Because I've got something in my head here, and I'd like to know what you think.
There was too much of him with his comedy mates. There was, I think, the middle section you could trim bits out of that. To be honest, there. I think everyone in it is perfectly fine. There's too much. I think there's too much of him with his family. There's a few scenes with his brother where it's like I don't know. I felt it's hard to be, but it felt a little bit. I don't know.
There was that one. Maybe I'm putting words in your mouth here, but one section of that particularly springs to mind for me is one where she's in the coma and the girl comes round and it actually looks like he's getting on quite well with her, and then like they go to her doorstep and then they have that conversation.
Yeah,
that feels like 5-10 minutes that you could quite easily cut out, because in the end of the day, you know he's not going to get with her.
Yeah, that's it.
And what does that actually do?
Yeah, that was, I think, a big bit of it is, you know, a big bit of it was that you kind of you know going in, or if you've taken an interest in the film, you know going in that this is a husband and wife writing team. It's very funny at points. It's like, do you remember, what was it? Is it Funny People it was, wasn't it? That was the other Apatow one that was essentially about stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
That one there is the same thing that it is, and Louis used to do it as well. The Louis C.K. TV show. It's very much like, we get it. Being a stand-up comedian is like a normal job for some people. It's just a job. It's a 9 to 5 kind of job, but it's not a 9 to 5. But it's not going to make you a lot of money. It's something people do, and they want to get on and move up the ladder in that. But it did feel a little bit, how cool we are. And I don't know if they were the actual guys that he was just sort of friends with or anything like that. The ones that were paying his mates, but then they were nowhere near as funny as comedians should be. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's just every time someone said something, I was thinking, will you please shut up and fuck off? You are not charming. You're a dick.
I don't know. I enjoyed those sections enough, to be honest. I liked the constant putting down of his roommate, even though it was kind of harsh on the guy, but, just because, like you say, he's not very funny.
Yeah.
It's the thing is, I think I've recommended this podcast on the show before, Playback with Christopher Tapley. It's a variety podcast. He did an interview with Nanjiani a few weeks back, and it was interesting because he was saying that when they went into the edit, like, the first stuff that got cut out was the comedy subplot, because it is like, you want to see what's going on with him and Ray Romano and Holly Hunter, and you're interested in his family's dynamic with him and how that's being ruined. Are you that interested in whether he's going to be a successful stand-up? Not really. So they actually trimmed that back even more. And the thing is, I think a lot of the time they just cut to those guys because they need some light relief.
Which you can see why. You can see why that's the thing that happens, certainly. But I think the thing is, I went in probably with a little bit too higher expectations, because everybody has been going on about how it's an amazing 5-star movie and it's the best romantic comedy in years and all this lot. And it's a bit like, I get the feeling that some people are kind of shouting about it because they're going, look, a romantic comedy I'm okay to admit I like. And I mean, coming out and going, do you know what? Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fine. But it's no better than fine.
I mean, I'm definitely at more than fine. I very much doubt it will be my top 10 at the end of the year. But got the biggest literal lol I've heard in a cinema audience in quite some time at one point.
Which was that?
9/11 was a tragedy. We lost 19 of our best guys.
Yeah, I laughed at that one.
Like the thing is, like, my audience fucking pissed themselves, but there were a few people going, like, kind of sharp intake of breath. Like it like most of the audience, I think, were okay with it, but there was definitely a few people who weren't. But yeah, like I like the comedic timing of that was incredible.
Yeah, I think that there was one that really got me. I can't remember which joke it was. There was one that I laughed at and realised, when you have that palpable feeling of, yeah, I'm the only person laughing at this. So
I had that at one point as well, actually.
It was either nobody else got the joke or it wasn't funny, and I just laughed. And I cannot remember which bit it was, but I was laughing quite a lot at it.
There was something in the... There's something Holly Hunter said to the guy who was abusing him that did that in my audience. I really laughed and nobody else did, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I mean, Holly Hunter and Ray Romano as well, they're really good in this. Like, Ray Romano, I just like his quiet fury at times, I thought was really interesting. They played a lived-in relationship where she is the vocal one, he is the quiet one, but he's got shit in his cellar,
Yeah.
And so there was that. So, and I mean, Nanjiani as well. Oh, you still there?
Yeah, so yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought I heard something there. Nanjiani as well. I mean, like I'm not too. I'm not too sure how good a dramatic actor he actually is. I think he's good in this, but
Yeah.
it seems like his natural response to everything was make a joke, which is what his character was. But it's almost like the only time shit got real was that scene where he loses it at the drive-thru, and even that was being played for laughs.
Yeah, there's that, and I think the other one is the scene where they're saying they're going to move in, what is it? That was the bit that got me. You know, when he grabs the bit of paper and goes, well, you can't go, and he goes, that's a map of the car park.
Yeah, exactly.
I burst out laughing, and I was like, nobody else is.
Again, it's a comedic moment. I mean, it's weird. It's like the only moments of drama which are not punctuated by laughs are pretty much between Nanjiani and Kazan.
Yeah.
And because, I mean, like, the Holly Hunter thing, I mean, like, she quite quickly turns.
She quite quickly warms to him, doesn't she?
Yeah, which, I don't know. I mean, it's just the fact that she is so antagonistic towards him for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then just, like, they kind of get pissed and then they're fine all the way through.
But I think it's even before that. She turns on him because she's very antagonistic straight away. But then she defends him straight away as soon as she gets a chance. And then they go back, they have a few drinks, and then they're just chatting away. And that's it. It doesn't take very long for her to, like you say, for her to come down that little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not the most cinematic film in the world.
No, but I think it doesn't need to be honest. It's. I'm glad I saw it in a cinema, is what I'd say. I've been perfectly happy watching it at home, but I was fine with watching it in the cinema. I didn't come out of it going a bit more of a home watch that. It was, do you know what? I'm happy to have given that movie my money.
It's that I'm happy it had some money off me more than I needed to see that on a big screen.
Yes, which is that. But I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the fact that that occasionally you'll watch a movie and go, do you know what? I'd have had exactly as good a time with that at home. But do you know what? I'm happy to give it my money because there's the odd time where you get that thing where there's a film where most people would be perfectly happy to watch it at home, but you watch it in the big screen and go, well, fuck, I'm glad I watched that here. There's your obvious ones like Dunkirk and the big, blockbuster movies. But then I remember one that I nearly missed in the cinema, which was Filth. And I very nearly missed it. And I'd have been gutted if I'd have missed that because I had such a great experience watching it in the cinema that at home, I would have still really enjoyed it and still, got on with it really well. But I think it was that slight difference of watching it in the cinema if a film gets you. Because it's got you. That's it. You can't, once a film gets you in the cinema, you can't move from it. Whereas if a film gets you at home, there's still the possibility that somebody else might go, if I'm watching it with Becky, something like that, go, I need to go to the toilet, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing pausing it there?
Yeah.
There's that moment, or the dog will fucking get up, or something like that will happen. Or the need to pee, I can go. In a cinema, it's got you.
Yeah, no, quite. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk later about a couple of films that I kind of wish I actually took the time to see in the cinema. But so actually, you're leading the way here. But I think we're probably done, aren't we?
Yeah. It's I've probably underplayed it. I think it's a solid. The thing is, the crazy thing is, I'd probably say I'm a 7.5 to 8 out of 10 on it. I'd probably say I'm an 8 out of 10 on it, to be honest. But it sounds like I've been a little bit more downer on it, but I haven't. It's a good time. It's a good watch. It is a nice presence to make. What is it? The thing where she says, "I'm just going to call an Uber," and sends it, and it goes off. And he's like, "Hi." It is good. I wish it was 10 minutes shorter because it's over 2 hours and it doesn't need to be. But it's almost like Judd Apatow's gone. Like they've given him a cut and he's gone. Oh, it's 118 minutes, and he's gone. Could you just add a few minutes?
Yeah.
I like my movies to be over 2 hours long. Why? It just makes my comedy seem a little bit more serious, if it's over 2 hours. And they've gone, oh, fuck it, you write the checks. There you go. So yeah, but it's a definite not shit from me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's I would not begrudge it. Maybe getting some sort of awards attention for screenplay and maybe some best supporting stuff going on. I'd be comfortable with that.
I could see it getting some for screenplay.
Yeah, I mean, like talk of Romano is about. So we'll see. But I actually thought Holly Hunter might have been a bit better, but. Yeah.
But Holly Hunter's has won an Academy Award and been nominated a couple of times, but Romano's not, and he's very much seen as a TV actor. I still think that one of my favourite moments in any Judd Apatow movie is in Funny People, where Eminem's chewing out Ray Romano. Mm-hmm. It's still one of my favourite moments. And I actually have gone back and watched that entire film just for that one fucking scene before.
Nice. I've watched that film twice, and I don't think I will ever watch it again. This is 40. I've watched once. I will never watch that film again.
Me and Bex rewatched. What's it called? Knocked Up, not too long ago. And I said after we watched it, I said, because it was all right, but again, it's too fucking long. And I said, don't you know there's a sequel? And she went, is there? Don't remember about that. I went, yeah. She went, is there really? I was like, yeah. And she looked and she went, there's a Knocked Up 2. I was like, no, it's not Knocked Up 2. I said, it's called This Is 40. And she was like, who's in it? I said, it's Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann. She's like, why the fuck would they make a sequel about the two most irritating characters in the entire film? Like, you don't want to watch the fucking film, man.
I don't know, man. Like,
it's basically 2 hours and nearly 20 minutes of them two just fucking arguing, and you're just screaming at the screen going, just fucking split up.
It's so weird that, I mean, Funny People after Knocked Up completely makes sense. Knocked Up made a lot of money. You're going to get Adam Sandler in there. Like, yeah, why not? But then after Funny People didn't do that well, then they give him money to do This Is 40. It feels very odd. Has Apatow done anything since? Because I don't think he has.
As a director, I'm not sure. Actually,
it kind of feels like he just produces now, and I do wonder if maybe that's where he's best suited.
It is, yeah. 'Cause I mean, it's This Is 40 wasn't a flop, but it certainly didn't. It didn't bring in $6 or anything. His last directed movie was Trainwreck.
Fucking hell. Yeah, he totally did Trainwreck. He totally directed Trainwreck.
Oh, God.
Trainwreck,
which is 124 minutes long.
Yeah, of course it was. I quite like Trainwreck. It was alright.
Yeah, I fucking couldn't stand it.
Yeah, fair enough.
It was good for LeBron James driving 70 miles back to pick up his sunglasses because they were $100.
LeBron James was very, very good in that film.
Yeah, just making him just really cheap stuff. Just made kind of perfect sense. The definitely not shit 80%.
Nice.
Touching cloth 10% and shit 10%.
Hi, Dan.
Yeah. So yeah, Ian, what have you been watching this week?
Okay, so I've got quite a lot of stuff actually. We'll do Twin Peaks at the end, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so let me barrel through a few things and then we'll kind of take it from there. So I watched, I really watched Kong Skull Island, which is still great. I rewatched Popstar Never Stop Never Stopping, which is again fantastic. It's the third time in less than a year for that film. I just the thing that got me this time was just the song "Fuck Off," where it's like it's like him telling kids what to say to their parents when or teachers when they're not allowed to do something they want to do, and it's like the lyrics are like, "Fuck off, oh 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 oh, I'm gonna live forever. Fuck off, oh oh, I hope you get butt fucked in prison." And it's just like, yeah, fine. I'm a big, as we know, I'm a massive fan of Popstar, and that film is the film that just never stops giving.
Yeah.
It's like, that's some fucking otherworld funny shit at points in that film. Just the song, I mean, the fucking soundtrack album is incredible. Like, Mona Lisa, you're a overrated piece of shit. Like, it's like, the whole song is about him just having to travel to Europe to the Louvre and then seeing the Mona Lisa, and then he's talking about how in America people don't lie about art, and it's great. I also watched. I had a really fucking it's a couple of films that are like a bit more serious, but other than that, it's like I rewatched Team America, which is fantastic. I
don't think I've rewatched Team America since the cinema.
Mate, seriously, Team America gets better every single time I watch that fucking film. Like, it's incredible. Yeah, I know you should rewatch Team America.
I might give it a re-go.
Amazon Prime.
It's on Prime.
Yeah.
Right, I might give it a go then.
Like, fucking that film. Watch Clueless. Rewatch Clueless.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, Donna and I were just like looking through Netflix for something to watch, and she was like, "Oh, let's watch Clueless," like taking the piss. I was like, "I'll watch Clueless." So 90 minutes later, we watched Clueless.
I saw Clueless at the cinema.
Very nice. I mean, incredibly dated, obviously, but it's still a lot of fun. I mean, like, Alicia Silverstone, you could see why her star was on the rise with that film, to be honest.
Yes, she's incredibly adorable in it, isn't she?
Yeah, very much so. Okay, so on to a few others then. So, The Overnight, which is on Netflix, directed by Patrick Bryce, who did Creep.
Oh, the
Mark
Duplass. The Mark Duplass one, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the Christopher Smith one.
No, yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've hovered over this.
Yeah, okay. So, basically, fuck, man, who the fuck's in it? Jesus, my
Adam Scott.
I'm tired.
Adam Scott, Jason Schwartzman, and Taylor Schilling.
Yeah, so Adam Scott and Taylor Schilling are a couple have just moved to an area and they've got a kid, and they're basically kind of looking for friends, and they're in the park with their kid when Jason Schwartzman's kid starts playing with their kid, and he comes over, introduces himself, and basically after a couple of minutes he invites them over to for dinner and to kind of welcome the neighbours kind of thing. And it's him and his wife, played by Judith Godrich, who I didn't really recognise. Apparently she was in Stoker, so and The Man in the Iron Mask randomly, so she's been in stuff. But yeah, so basically they put the kids to bed, wine kind of comes out, and then things get a bit odd. And I'll leave it there with the description. So yeah, I enjoyed this. Very funny at points. Really, really solid Jason Schwartzman material. The line, "There's a seriously tasty situation developing" when describing something that he's cooking is amazing. I think I actually texted you that.
You did, yeah.
When I was watching it, it was good stuff. Really, really good Schwartzman stuff here. It ends a bit abruptly, and because there's a bit of a mystery as to what's going on, and then it's kind of revealed, and it's like, oh, right, okay, cool, and then it 2 minutes later it's over. But I won't spoil it. But yeah, it's worth a go actually, and it's on Netflix.
I'll happily give that a go. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Captain Underpants.
Yeah.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah, had me from the moment they're sitting in the principal's office and there's a plaque under his desk saying "Hope dies here," which I quite enjoyed. Really, really nice message at its heart about not forgetting to have fun and not forgetting to laugh, and that things don't always have to be serious. And if you're always serious, you're probably going to be very lonely in life. So just a lovely message. I mean, fuck, man. Captain Underpants' enemy is called Professor Poopypants. You know, it's there's a reveal of Professor Poopypants' full name, which I actually don't want to spoil because it's incredible. So yeah, I mean, it's an awful lot of toilet humour, but it's got a massive fucking heart, and it's like very fourth wall breaking as well, which I quite enjoyed. So yeah, Captain
nice.
Underpants, solid recommend that.
I did watch the trailer and went, do you know what? I'm probably not going to go to the cinema to watch it, but I'll happily catch it.
Yeah, no, it's sure, just when you can, man. It's a lot of fun. So The Lost City of Z. So watched this after your recommendation last week. Don't think I was quite as taken with it as you were.
Yeah.
But I thought it was very good, and I wish I saw it in the cinema. There's a bit of repetition in some of the adventuring, which I was a little bit like, you could cut this out and have it closer to 2 hours than 2.5 hours. That would be nice.
Yes, you probably could. Yeah, and I agree with that.
Yeah. But yeah. Last shot is amazing. That's fucking incredible. That shot. And yeah, the last act. I don't want to say anything, but I really like the last act. So I like Lost City of Z. And finally, from me, Life.
Yes. Yeah. I'm thinking about watching this tonight.
Yeah, $1.99 on Amazon if you're an Amazon Prime member to rent.
That's a bargain, isn't it?
$1.99. It's $4.49 to rent it on Apple on iTunes. I don't know. I don't know how Amazon are doing this, but it's like Beauty and the Beast. They had for $1.99 to rent.
I think it's an offer for over the school holidays. They're doing $1.99 rentals.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
It's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
Yeah. So I mean, the HD stream on Amazon looks fine as well. So. Life. So it's Alien Covenant if it was set in the modern day, and probably a bit better than Alien Covenant in a way.
Yeah.
Or not as good Alien set in the modern day. Basically, crew on the ISS, the International Space Station, for not just in case. They retrieve a soil sample from Mars, and there's a single cell organism in there, and they study it, and they want to try and basically give it life, and they do, and then things start kind of going wrong from there. So Jake Gyllenhaal, Rebecca Ferguson, fucking Ryan Reynolds, Hiroyuki Sanada in his second space sci-fi horror After Sunshine, but he's got a demotion here, so poor Mr. Sanada, and others. I was impressed by this, not on a story level, but on how grim it is at points. There's some invasive body horror stuff. There is a shot that lingers far longer than I wanted it to linger for. Which you will know exactly the shot in fact, if you watch it tonight, WhatsApp me and tell me the shot, because I bet you get it right. It was gross for me. And it gets really quite depressing, and just everything is going wrong, and the threat that they face is really interesting, because You know, it's a single cell organism at first, and they kind of cultivate it, and they don't know what it is. You know, they don't know what could kill it. They don't know what could injure it. They're completely flying by the seat of their pants, and they don't know how it's going to develop. So it's like Alien in that way, except like they know it's there, and like so, and they're it's almost like they're not prepared for it, but they're more prepared for it than the space truckers of Alien are. So there's a lot of it where they're talking through what they're going to do, and there's a procedural aspect to it which I quite enjoyed. And it's got a hell of an ending.
Cast-wise and everything-wise, I've been looking forward to it. So, from the sounds of it, I think I might actually get on quite well with this.
Yeah, I think you will. Good. I think it's a good Wednesday night watch. It was a good Tuesday night watch for me. And $1.99, man. Like, seriously, I would happily give you the $1.99 back if you don't get a kick out of it.
Well, I'll certainly be watching it. I'd be very surprised if I don't like it. I was possibly going to buy it for $9.99 the day. So
yeah, I'd maybe not do that.
I maybe won't do that. I think what I'll do is I'll pay the $1.99 to rent it, and then if I really like it, I'll wait till it's $6.99 and then I'll buy it.
Yeah, if it's $5.99 on iTunes, I'd probably pick it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. You know, it's a fairly solid recommend is life, but yes, it's an awful lot like Alien. Yes, it is, but I think it does enough different. Certainly visually, like the interpretation of the threat here is not. Actually, there's a bit of Prometheus to it, I suppose, but not really Alien. But yeah, I'll leave it there. But I think you'd like it.
Cool.
That's me.
Cool. Right. I'll go through mine. Pretty quickly, just I watched Romans Bleeding and Red Rock West for the There's No Our Way, the patron show. So I won't go into those. It'd be unfair on those that we're patroning. But what I will say is Romans Bleeding is a fantastic movie, and people should watch it for Leonard Holland's performance alone.
Nice.
As I say on the what is it, as a little quick snapshot into what you get on the Patreon thing. Long-term listeners will know that I have a passion for the crazy lady in a movie. And Leonard Holland in that is batshit crazy. There's a moment where she smashes through the windscreen of a car that's just been crashed, and she's got her hands handcuffed behind her back, and she's wearing nothing but her underwear, and she legs it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Right, okay.
That movie, it's fantastic. I am absolutely praying that one of you or Noel hasn't seen it so I can get it for one of you and playing it forward so we can talk about it. So what else did I watch? I watched Moana.
Nice.
Isabel said she wanted to rewatch it because she enjoyed the first time she watched it. So she went to rewatch it. And me and Bex were like, do you know what? I could watch that. So we watched it on Sunday afternoon. It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
It's what I'd say.
I really rate Moana.
About Moana is it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of tongue-in-cheek humour in it. The song that runs through it that is repeated far too many times is irritating as fuck. It was driving me mad. But
which song? The fucking away.
The main song that she sings, where she sings it, she sings like almost different versions of it, like 3 times. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah, it started to grate a little bit. But the You're Welcome song that The Rock sings is brilliant.
Welcome's the best.
Yeah, and Shiny was fantastic.
Shiny's good as well.
Yeah.
Did you see the after credits bit?
Yes.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah, I laughed quite a lot at that. The thing is, at one point, I turned out to Becky and went, is there something wrong with that chicken? At the start of the movie.
Yeah.
And they both looked at me and went, there's something wrong with that chicken. And then the bit where he eats the rock. The chicken eats the rock and he's just there coughing it up. It killed me. And I said to Becky, if that is the last we see of that chicken, then Moana can go and fuck itself. and then as soon as the chicken was on the raft with her, I was like, I'm fine. As long as we cut to that chicken every like few minutes. I'm fine. I remembered something you said on the podcast when you reviewed it. And so, because we're having lunch while and we were clearing the plates off the table, and I thought, I might be remembering this horribly wrong, but I'm sure Ian said that Alan Hyde voices the chicken.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and was like, holy shit, he does.
Yeah.
Moana, it's an awful lot of fun. A movie that's not an awful lot of fun. We were scrolling through Amazon Prime to look for something to watch, and scrolled across The Alphabet Killer, the horror thriller from Robert Schmidt, who directed Wrong Turn. And we're like, all right, Alphabet Killer. It's about an actual killer who is killing people who have the same initial for their first and their last name. Stars Elijah Dushku, but also has Cary Elwes in there, and Michael Ironside and Timothy Hutton's in it. So we thought, right, what we'll do? We'll watch the trailer. Watch the trailer. Like, do you know what? Yeah, fine with that. Started to watch it. Gets fucking straight into it straight away. You've got Elijah Dushku, who is playing a detective, and she's investigating the murder of this young girl who's called Carla Castillo, who obviously C, and she's investigating it with her colleague and partner, played by Cary Elwes, who is also her partner in real life. And I'm thinking, all right, yeah, this is getting straight into it, getting shit done. And she literally just within seconds goes from, him coming upstairs into the room that she's got where she does all of her work and bits like that. And he says to her, oh, remember, it's date night, so don't get too crazy. And she goes, oh, no, the only thing I'm going to be crazy about is you. Literally, I think that is basically the line she says. And she's kind of making a joke about it. To literally 2 scenes later, there's like the camera's shaking and she's cowered in a corner going, I need to make sense of all this. I need to find out. And they're going, and then the next scene is the captain saying, you've people are uncomfortable being around you. You've gone too far off. And then all of a sudden she has a nervous breakdown. And it literally goes from that, and you're going, this started like 8 minutes ago.
Nice.
This has gone on the fucking reservation very quickly. And then it starts to make sense that she's developed, she's got this borderline schizophrenia, and she's had like a nervous breakdown because she's going crazy and she gets demoted down, etc., and things like this. And it goes on, and then again, and then she's brought back onto the nerves. And I'm watching it going, that seems a little bit like they won't do that. They wouldn't let her go back onto the cases when last time she was on the same case, she had a nervous breakdown and nearly killed people. That doesn't seem like that's something they do. They won't bring her on as a consultant to do that. But it's based on real life events, so it must do. And then it continues, and it gets more and more where I'm watching it going, please end. Please end. Because the only person that's really taking this seriously is Elijah Dushku, and she's taking it so fucking seriously. And let's be honest, she's not a brilliant actress.
Yes.
So yeah, it gets really fucking dull until Timothy Hutton turns up, and he's in it, and you're going, he's clearly something. He's clearly something, because Timothy Hutton's as down a trajectory as his career took from the late 80s, early 90s, he's not taken this for this fucking role. So he's clearly the killer. Turns out he is, and you go, and I'm watching it thinking, it's all just... by the way, he is a paraplegic who is one of her counsellors.
Right.
Right? And then you're going, but there's no way he can be the killer because... he's a paraplegic. And in the back of my mind, I've just got fucking Walter from The Big Lebowski going, this guy's a walker.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off. And no, I'm giving it away. This movie's like nearly 10 years old and nobody wants to know.
No, I want to know.
So it turns out, yeah, he is the killer. He's not a paraplegic. He's just a dick. And there's at one point where he's got her taped up in the back of the car, and he says to her, "Don't worry, nothing's going to happen. You're not my type." And he kind of winks at her, and he's going, "Are you actually making a joke about the fact that you're a paedophile?"
Wow.
You just feel like Timothy Hutton has been there, has turned up a few days on set, and has gone, "Oh, this is shit. This is real." Do you know what? I was in like fucking Stripes, and people were talking about me as being like the bigger future star than Sean Penn and Tom fucking Cruise. And look at what they're doing now. And I'm driving a car playing a paraplegic peterass with Eliza fucking Dushku. Seriously. The shit slayer from Buffy. That's what my fucking career has got to. By the way, right, he's a paraplegic, or pretending to be a paraplegic, yet he's dragging her across, right, just the car park of the building he lives in. Quite easily, anyone, Betty from number 2, could walk by and go, "Hang on a minute, are you in a wheelchair? Who's that?" At any point. And he's not doing it subtly either. So, yeah, it's not very good. It's really not very good. And then I looked at it and thought, well, that can't have been what really happened. Looked it up. No, it's not. Not even fucking... Right? Do you know what the similarities between the actual alphabet killer and this movie is? There was a guy who it seemed like he was picking his victims by them having the first and last initial being the same in the early 70s. That's it. This movie isn't set in the early 70s, by the way, either. That's it. It is... At that point, I was a bit like, oh, fuck off.
Right, yeah. No, it's that sounds like a hard pass to me.
Yeah, it without question is. It is... I'm trying to remember... It's the last film that Rob Schmidt directed.
Yeah, okay, well, that's... I don't know, it kind of sounds like he's not going to be somebody in hot demand.
No, he's not. So the other film I decided to watch his good film that he made, Wrong Turn, because it was only a $5 on iTunes. I thought, I'll get a $5's worth of watching out of Wrong Turn over the next 5 or 6 years or whatever it is that iTunes is the actual thing that we're buying things on or whatever. So I decided, you know what, fuck it, yeah, I'll happily pay a $5 to rewatch Wrong Turn since it's not on any streaming service. Wrong Turn's always been one of those films where it's the type of horror film I'd recommend to people who don't watch horror movies. Mm-hmm. It's an accessible horror film.
Yeah,
I recommend it to both my mum and my dad. They both watched it and they both thoroughly enjoyed it. Said it was a little bit too for them, but neither of them are big horror fans. But it's like that. And it's got a decent cast of kind of like people that were hot shit right then.
Yes. Yeah, oh God, who's in it?
It's Desmond Harrington, Eliza Dushku, Emmanuel Chicory, and Jeremy Sisto, who, of course, is in Clueless.
He is, yes.
Yeah, so, yeah, The Wrong Turn is a really good time. It's a really solid horror film to watch, you know. It's 85 minutes long. It's gory. It's icky. It's got them not making massively stupid decisions, but making stupid enough decisions that you can go, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. But you could kind of get behind the idea of logically, if you didn't know you were in a horror movie making that decision, is what I'd say.
Wrong Turn 2's decent as well, actually.
Do you know what? I'm going to, over the next few sort of weeks, I'm going to watch some of the Wrong Turn movies, because I remember Wrong Turn 2 being okay, Wrong Turn 3 having a really good kill in it.
Oh, fuck, I think I've seen that, yeah. Okay.
I think, is it Wrong Turn 3 when literally just someone gets like fucking macheted and like a drive-by macheting or something like that?
Yeah, there might be something like that in there, yeah.
I think Wrong Turn 5 has a really good opening and then he's shit for the rest of it.
Okay.
But you kind of get the feeling like Wrong Turn could have, in just a different world, Wrong Turn could have essentially had the same success of like Saw.
Well...
The franchise.
Yeah.
Is what I'm meaning. Whereas it seems like a strange fucking. It seems like a strange film to have got 6 films out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a gore.
Joe Lynch did the second one, wasn't it?
Sorry?
Joe Lynch did the second one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he did, yeah. And then Declan O'Brien, who did the third. Oh, he actually did the third. Declan O'Brien's done a lot of thirds. He also directed the third Joyride movie and the third Marine movie.
Well, that's a fucking... His
CV's not great. I mean, good on him. He's consistently worked for like the past... For a good 10 years, he consistently worked, but it's not on stuff that he wants to show to his mum. Yeah, so then that was it for me. Wrong Turn still holds up like 15 years later.
Nice.
So Twin Peaks, part 12. We'll get straight into it. Ian, what did you think?
The first episode of the series that I think could be described as treading water. Because I know people on Twitter and whatnot have been reacting negatively against it, and I think that is basically, if you come to Twin Peaks for plot development, then yes, I could see that being a problem, but then why wouldn't you also have a problem with episode 8? Oh, that's because you want to seem like you're smart. So I didn't have that much of a problem with that. It was just the fact that there were parts of it which I enjoyed and parts that I didn't. I don't know what Dr. Jacoby is bringing to it at this point at all. Plot or Lynch weirdness. Because it feels like it's every time he's on, it's pretty much the same thing now.
Yeah.
But the one shot of David Patrick Kelly running, screaming out of the woods was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, just the fact that was literally the only bit of that plot line you got in this episode was the best.
And then I think the fact that the next scene is Ben Horn in the office, and you're thinking, okay, what's going to happen here? But it has nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with it at all, no. But the bait and switch with the first appearance of Audrey, I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
That raises questions. It's like, is Richard even Audrey's son? I know he's Richard Horn, but is there another Horn girl that we're not aware of or something? Or is it pretty much that is it now? Has it been confirmed?
I thought it was confirmed. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
It can't be Johnny's kid, can it?
No, but I don't know. Maybe Cherry had a son or a daughter who had a kid or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree there, but I enjoyed that bait and switch. And I enjoyed that conversation. The thing, I liked the individual elements within it, and Diane saying "Let's rock." What the fuck that means is but God, the bit
because that there is significant.
Yeah,
because the only person who said "Let's rock" is the man from another place.
Yeah.
So that is a window into something. She's something to do with the Black Lodge.
Yeah.
There's something going on there, without question.
I mean, oh God, that'd be... The thing is, I hope it's not that she was kind of almost in on it all along or something like that. I really, really hope they don't do that, just because that obviously wasn't Lynch's intention with the first series.
No, it would make more sense if she's being turned since.
Yeah, if she's been manipulated or something, or turned. Yeah, no, 100%, yeah. No, absolutely. Fuck. I was gonna. The fuck was I gonna say? Sorry, I've forgotten. Audrey. Nah, fuck, it's gone. What did you think?
I just quite liked it, to be honest.
Okay.
I thought it was. It felt like an episode that wasn't as much trying to prove itself at points.
Sure.
It felt a little bit more like a right, and I can see why people would say that it's treading water and anything like that, but not every single episode of Twin Peaks, the original series, was an event and was a revelation. There are ones that are just essentially, and that is a thing about TV. There are episodes occasionally that what they're doing is they're putting things in order.
It's just the fact that this is literally the first episode out of 12 that I think even comes close to justifiably being like said that it is treading water. I
think part 12 will turn out to be more important than people think.
Okay.
I think it's that thing there. I think part 12 is. I think it's the calm before the storm.
Well, yeah, I mean, certainly the fact that the GPS thing is pointing towards Twin Peaks.
Yes.
It's almost like Lynch was live editing it or something, and it was like, fuck it, do you people want something? All right, fine, here you go. Yeah, and almost like...
But there's an awful lot kind of got... I think it's one of those where not a lot showing happened. There wasn't a lot of weirdness, but you had things, you had interactions. So you had Audrey arriving. You had the explanation of where the Blue Rose thing comes from. You had the confirmation, or you had the face-off between... You got more into what was happening with Harry. So you had the conversation between Frank Truman and Ben Horn. You got a little bit more of, Richard and that thing there. You also had Laura's mum coming into the episode as well. And so it seems like there was a lot sort of more going, right, laying down and saying, look, we're setting a lot more things up. We're not doing stuff over here right now.
Which, to be fair, makes sense, because if you go by purely amount of episodes, this is the end of the second act.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and then you've got the final push. And I think the thing is, I think you've also got to. It's essentially it's a weirdness of, and I've said it before, of watching this episodically, because the majority of the Twin Peaks watching that we've done, and most of us have done, has been. Well, part 12's finished and we'll watch part 13. I don't think you wouldn't end a watching, if you were re-watching this, and you were watching it in like 3 or 4 episode blocks, part 12 won't be the last one you watch. You'd never start, I don't even think you'd watch, I think you'd have to watch part 11, 12 and 13. I don't think you want to end or start on part 12. I think it'd have to be a middle block of a little group of them that you'd be watching there. But I think when we get forward, a lot that happened in this will prove quite pertinent.
I think you could well turn out to be right there. I think because it was quite bitty, but
it was quite bitty.
But those bits could prove to be quite important. I see what you're saying there, but it was... Because it was introducing characters as well as having like tiny bits of established characters. I mean, like Kyle MacLachlan was maybe on screen for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Which, if this is thought of as an 18-hour film, fair enough, because he's been on screen a lot up to this point. But it's... I'm starting to get that itch that you were having, where it's like I really want Dougie to move along now.
Yeah, that's it. I'm at the point now where I'm going, right, there's 6 episodes left. I kind of want to. This is Twin Peaks. can we fucking go to Twin Peaks? And I think the reason why I got on with this more is because there was a lot of time spent in Twin Peaks.
Which is absolutely fair enough. And I mean,
Yeah.
like the Grace Zabriskie in her scene, that's some interesting shit.
She does crazy very, very well.
Very well. I mean,
Yeah.
Christ, even when she was just like buying the vodka, it was like she kind of seems like a mad cat lady.
Yeah, she does. It would. If the thing is, I haven't seen an interview with Grace Zabriskie. I haven't seen her in various bits, but a lot of sort of Lynch things. I saw an interview with her. She was talking about working with David Lynch, and she started talking. I was like, "Holy shit! How normal is she?"
Oh wow, okay, that's good.
And she's really sort of quite normal and just kind of like quite chatty, and her voice sounds completely different, and she's like really like enthusiastic and energetic. And I was like, this is weird. Mm. And then it makes you just kind of appreciate the fact that she goes full in for everything. Mm. And well, then the what is it? When Hawk's there, it's like, is everything okay? And she's like, yeah, there's nothing. And you're thinking, no, we heard a fucking noise. Would you be surprised if fucking the kid from the store is chained up in her kitchen or something like that?
It would be amazing if that's never referenced again.
Yeah.
You're totally right. But yeah, no, that would be good. No, it's do you know what? I'm talking about it. I'm actually liking it more.
Yeah, I really quite enjoyed it. I don't, like I say, I can see why people are saying it's the first one that hasn't felt holy fuck. But all 18 parts couldn't be like that. There needs to be a little bit of a right. Let's calm things down.
Oh yeah, no, we've been spoiled.
Yeah, and I don't want something that goes full tilt for that long, because if it goes full tilt for 18 episodes, once you get to the climax, it's going to be a little bit like, well, do you know what? I've been on this upper level too long that it just doesn't seem like a big deal now. I want it to take you down and go, look, we've got you now, we've done all of the crazy shit, and we've brought you here, let's fucking tell you about this. And then let's fucking go mental at the end.
Well, it kind of feels like shit's going to start going mental soon.
Yeah, my favourite scene in the entire thing was when Cheryl Truman and Ben Horn were talking.
Oh no, that was I like how measured Robert Forster is in this, like how slowly and meticulously he kind of says things, and like the pace of his scenes, I really enjoy.
Yeah, I think the Ben Horn character feels like a very one thing I think they've got quite right on certain characters. So Bobby Briggs is one we spoke about, but I also think they've got Ben's character quite well, because he has an epiphany in season 2 of Twin Peaks, and you get the feeling like he's continued that. He's not gone back to his old ways since. In the 20 years since, he's very much been
a better
man, a good guy. And you've got the whole thing with him with Ashley Judd, where he knows previously Ben Horn would have been all over that.
Yeah.
But he's having to hold his demons inside, and the fact that Spectrum kind of comes and says, "Look, it was your grandson Richard who killed that boy," and then he's saying, and he also we think that he's trying to kill the only witness, and she needs an operation, and straight away he's like, "Well, that's it. Well, it's fine. Yeah, we'll pay for it."
Yeah.
And it's kind of like Truman has no right to ask that at all. But he knows that if he does ask, or he does even suggest or intimate, that Ben Horn will go, "That's fine, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I'll do it." And then straight away he's saying to Ashley Judd, "Can you make sure this gets sorted? It needs to get sorted. No, it's my family's fault. You need to get that sorted." And he tells a story about the bike thing, and then she goes off and he says, "I really do miss that green bike."
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there you go. That there perfectly is Twin Peaks, not Twin Peaks: The Return. And it feels like sometimes these two worlds haven't quite melded as much as I've wanted them to. And there moments like that could have been lifted out of season 2 of Twin Peaks, and that's what I kind of really like that. And there's been kind of like some back push saying that Audrey Horne was kind of that she should have had a bigger entrance rather than just appearing and just being the Trill wife. And I kind of thought, I liked that. I liked the fact that she's not that's what she's become. It seems like that's where she could have gone. There's going to be more to that story, but that was the place that you could see that she could have gone to quite easily. So I liked it, to be honest.
Good. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, like I say, I liked it more talking about it, and hopefully this week will be. No, actually, knowing Lynch, this week will probably be like episode 8 or something. But we'll see.
Yeah, I have a feeling part 13 is going to be a weird one, and then we're going to go back to the plot-driven episodes for the last 5.
Fuck, man, there's only 6 left. Jesus.
I know. There's a month left. We don't have any questions. I don't think.
We'll leave it there then.
What are we covering next week, Ian?
Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. Bit of the old Besson.
Fuck it, yeah. I'm going to give that a go. It looks. This is going to be a fun one to go at, because you're a big fan of The Fifth Element, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this clearly is Besson doing Fifth Element again, isn't it?
I'm pretty fucking pumped for this, to be honest.
Yeah, right. And I've tried and I have tried and I've tried and I cannot get on with The Fifth Element. So with this, I'm looking at it going, okay, let's give this a go.
Nice.
So it's going to be an interesting one to watch, and I will happily go and sting some money at it and see where it lands.
Sweet.
So we're going to do that. We'll also be covering part 13 of Twin Peaks, and some what we've been watching and bits like that. I will be watching Personal Shopper next week. I apologise for the fact that I didn't watch this week. I remembered I said I would watch it about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
That's all good, man. Watch live.
I will. I think I will watch it live tonight. Actually, I think I'll give that a go.
It's only like an hour and 43 minutes as well. So.
Nice! I can start at 10 o'clock and be in bed by 12.
Yeah.
Cool. So yes. If you want more of this, then the Patreon page, which is Patreon/Dude and the Monkey, or check out our Twitter. Check out our Twitter for @Dude and the Monkey, @Ian Loring, @DudeFoz, dudeandmonkey.com. I keep saying this, but I have got 3 or 4 things ready to go on the site. I just need to polish them up, and I'm going to do that this weekend. So I'm determined to get better at posting on the site, because there's stuff that I want to actually talk about. One of them that I'm hovering over, possibly not posting.
Okay.
Yes. I will tell you off the mic. So, yes, thank you very much for listening, guys, and we shall speak to you next week.
Bye.